Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Jalen Hurts, divisional, big win at home, snow, locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. The link is in the video description. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Jalen Hurts, the Eagles. Nice win, 28-22 snow globe game. Hurts right here, a little bash GT to the house. Woohoo! Quarterback run game, been a big deal for a long time. We're reading the left defensive end, 8-ball. This thing is to the house. Right tackle's got nobody to block. Beautiful job. Again, Jalen Hurts healthy in this game, running the rock, a massive weapon. So what's going on here? There are a few things that I want to talk through, just scheme X's and O's for us to have a deep understanding of what exactly this is. So we're reading this player. That's our conflict defender or key defender. The bash, back away. And then we're running GT with the quarterback to the play side. So all that is traditionally is the play side is gap down backer. So they're all going gap down. This is where it's unique. Is it to the backside backer or to the near backer? It really doesn't matter. It's right here. It's going to be these three, the center, right guard, right tackle, or these three right here. Because we're getting backside pressure here, there's going to be a thing we're going to talk about on the backside. You got to make a choice. Well, they make what I prefer as the choice to leave that backside. And then we end up getting the play side gap kick, which ends up turning into a log. We'll talk about that. And then the backside wrap from the tackle. And you could essentially give it to him for a 20-yard gain. There's no one for him to block, but he ends up getting in the way of the safety. And so because there's no one for him to wrap to on that play side linebacker right here, he is what makes this thing go to the house. So it's the decision, in my opinion, on this backside that leads to this thing going to the house. Okay, but at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts running the rock, a weapon, the quarterback run game, obviously complementary to what they got going with Saquon. But these are back-breaking plays. And you simply cannot, in my opinion, defend a good quarterback run game and not be in zero. So as soon as you see middle of the field closed, there's a post safety. Quarterback run game, we have the numbers. It's even more open when he's going to work to the opposite side and you have no linebacker to fit this GT to the play side. So the decision for me here is the center. And then this is going to be getting into the weeds. So I apologize if this is not your jam. If you're just here for the quarterback play, we'll get to it. Okay, but this is all tethered together in my opinion. So bash GT, we're reading right here. Here comes the bash. If he can tackle him, meaning if he can tackle him, we're going to pull it and run it. If he hard charges this thing, you just hand it to Saquon and we're out on the edge for punt return left. Now the real decisions. So there's a conflict defender. The play side here. I think of this traditionally as gap down backer. Now this is where you have to make a choice in how you teach this. Are we talking about the near backer or the backside backer when we say gap down backer? I like to think of gap down backside backer. So it would be a down block here, and then we would be trying to get a deuce, these two, all the way to long hair. And well, long hair hits us in the B gap with the pressure. So most teams, many teams would want to basically go singled up here, meaning that the center would be a tough angle, this would be a tough angle, and this would be, that's three rough one-on-one blocks. If he's coming from any sort of depth, I'm all about letting it roll. So unless he's standing right here like he's going to try to block a punt in the feet of the first level, we're not going to block him. So when you don't block him, and we don't block him because he's our conflict defender read, we get a down block, then we essentially get a deuce to whoever shows up here, which is the play side inside linebacker. So traditionally, we would be kicking and wrapping to this guy. But because we're deucing to him, because of what we're doing on the backside, so we're here, when we get this kick out here, which ends up turning into a log because he tries to spill this or wrong arm it. So then you get this log, which just means you got to roll it and it bounces out a gap. Now when we go pull wrap here, there's nobody here. And because there's nobody here, he starts looking around. What the hell should I do? And he ends up getting in just enough of the way here for this safety to not be able to make the play. So if this left tackle is not running the ball wide open down the field here, this safety probably makes this play on Jalen as he stumbles through that second level. So again, first thing here is watch how they handle or don't handle long hair. See him as he just kind of like early fits this thing. A lot of centers would want to go back and get him and would bring the right guard with him to the shade. That decision not to do that, we get the log from the left guard on the wedge, and then we're going to follow 68. There's nobody for him to block. Okay, he's looking around. Who should I block? Who should I block? Great balance from Jalen right here. Great strength. What? And that right there, just enough of, I'm not going to run into 68 full speed, goes around him, and now we're to the house. It's awesome. Hell yeah. Next one here, 2nd and 7. This to me is a drop. A.J. Brown up top, a little wrap in. I think Jalen plays this pretty perfectly. Can't catch it for him. Looks like he gets a little alligator-ish, thinking he's going to get hit from all three sides. I think this is a very well-constructed play. It's one of those plays where you got to have it. It's not an easy catch, but it is one of those catches where I think A.J. Brown and company would probably expect him to make it. So I'm calling this little wrap in right here. To me, this is split safety. I think they end up playing quarters down here. So like combo coverage, quarter, and like half or palms over here. And really, the part that I love about it is once you get the number 3 going this way, so the third eligible over here, it's going to traditionally pull this middle of the 3 inside linebacker types. Here are the 3 inside, 3 backers. The middle of this one is almost always going to match to 3. So as soon as he moves this way, you know you have this. It's just right off this curl defender. So he can't be right. So as soon as he moves, the read is right here. And he can't be right. If he gets depth, you put it on the number 2. If he hangs right there like we want him to, you wrap it right around his ear. And that's exactly what happens. And so for me, this drop leads to a 3rd down sack. We can't catch it for him. It's beautiful tempo. It's great design with the number 3 going this way at the bottom. You can see what it does to the mic. Look at the middle linebacker run with the back. He moves with him, matches to him. That opens up the hole right behind him. And again, I'm not saying it's an easy catch because it's not, but it's one of those catches you got to make. Great rhythm. Look at his base. Again, watch the mic match with the back. Whoop. Got him. And again, he almost goes full baseball slide. You can kind of hear him. Listen real closely. I'll see if I can turn up the volume. Damn. Okay. That's tough. Catch the damn ball. So because of that drop, now it's 3rd and 7. Now we're going to get sacked. Now, this is not my favorite play at the bottom. This has got some Hank vibes. I'm not going to put this on anyone other than Jalen. You know, I would tell you that I personally dislike this play, but it's well established. Jalen's got to make a play here for us, no matter what the read is. And so just because we don't necessarily know what the read is, the route distribution here, we'll call that a curl. I'll call this a sit, and we'll call that a wide or a swing. This to me is hanky, okay? At least half Hank. Ha, okay? Or okay. Up top, we're going to go lion, dart, slant, double slant. You know, I really, really dislike Hank. I dislike lion into Hank because you're essentially running into each other. You're creating like a traffic jam here in the middle of the field. Now, that being said, I don't know how they're asking him to read this. I don't pretend to. I wouldn't know how to teach it, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend to tell you how to read it. I will tell you that if you work this side, so let's pretend we're working this side down here to the bottom. This looks open. And now let's pretend like we're working up top. This looks open. So I don't know what the answer is. I can tell you that there are answers on both sides. It's 3rd medium. The ball's got to come out. If we don't know what the answer is, we can't call this play. Now, I will say, when we go in motion right here with the fast 3 and nobody moves, to me, that means zone. Okay. Middle field closed, zone. I like double slant. I like the outside. I like the curl. Again, I don't know what the read is. It looks like he's thinking about throwing to the back. I'm sure the double mug didn't make him feel great. But once you get that safety in the middle of the field, you got to know that they're probably not bringing 6 here. And so I would just tell him, once we get this front, so 6 people up, and there's a safety in the middle of the field, percentages would be shockingly low that all 6 of these guys would blitz. Could they do it? Sure. They would be playing unsound defense, in my opinion. They would be voiding areas. They would not have enough to play zero. You just got too many issues. So as soon as you motion like this, out of this double mug look, and nobody moves, I'm guessing like really high percentages, zone. So I would say somebody, if not multiple people, are dropping out of there, especially with that middle field post player. So he gets confused. Now it's a sack. So the drop leads to the sack, leads to this, what I would classify as not my favorite marriage of concepts with double slant and Hank. We have no answers, and we're getting sacked, and we're getting hit, and hits end up getting us hurt. Next one here. 1st and 10, we got a big shot opportunity at the bottom of the screen. We got a big post for some version of quarters down here to the bottom. To me, this ball is a hitch late. It brings us too much into the middle of the field. We get bailed out with a penalty there. We really do. And it certainly could and should have been a bigger play. You know, you hit this thing in stride, he's got a chance to score. I personally think it's a hitch late. I also think the throw brings us too far to the middle of the field, and that brings that backside corner into the play. And so this is one of those plays where you can't get this play called fast enough if you know you're catching quarters. So to me, this is a quarters beater. So some version of this. And what we got going here is what I like to call scissors. So up and that big over the top skinny post paired with either a sail or a corner coming out of here. And so for a quarterback, your eyes are really right here. As soon as he hesitates at all, I mean, he puts his foot in the ground, doesn't get enough depth to cover the post, this thing is up. I personally think it times out best with 3 and a hitch. If you're going to go play action, that's already going to make you a little late. So anything 3, 2 hitch, 2 reset, whatever your terminology is, so you fake it, 3 big, you got to get it up, dog, because the longer you wait for this thing to get down the field, not only are you running out of club, and it's not ideal throwing conditions, right? We're not in a dome. Not only are you waiting, but if you bring them across the field, farther to the middle of the field, you're going to bring some sort of backside coverage. Now, it's pretty rare for the corner to be the guy who makes this play, in my opinion. But whatever they're doing on the backside, and I'm not going to pretend to tell you I know what their defensive coverage is on the backside here. This guy, corner, for me, is the quarterback's responsibility. So he can't throw him far enough across the field where the corner makes the play. It's got to be up the field, whatever their landmark is. I used to like to use the near upright or near hash as the landmark. So once you cross that near hash as a wide receiver, you're dealing with the other side of the field defense. One of the issues here is in a tight split, sometimes you can run at the technique of the corner to widen him to open that thing up even more for you. But first here, let's watch the near safety. So when would this ball get up ideally? As soon as, he's squat, it's over. He's squatting right there. He's not getting any depth. It's a wrap. 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw. So what does Jalen do? Fake. Is out 1? That's his left foot. So it's kind of like 1, 2, 3, shuffle, hitch, 2 hitch, and now we're late. And you can see here on the backside, because we're so late, that corner up top is looking at your eyes and he's just following his lead. It's almost like you're trying to bait him. It's just too late, and now that corner falls into that play. And we're a little fortunate that he didn't make a play on the ball. And that looks like a pretty clean hit. I don't know what else is he supposed to do. Whew. So they get bailed out because they don't hook it up with the penalty. But man, that could and should have been probably a bigger play. So fake, 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw. Little late. The throw brings us inside the hash. And again, I don't know what their landmarks are. Maybe their handmark, they don't have a landmark. Maybe it's supposed to look like that. I mean, we got to make that catch. And again, I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, defensively, like, what else are you supposed to do? You can't allow him to catch it. The quarterback throws it, puts him in harm's way. You got to hit him. I mean, he's so defenseless that we can't touch him. I don't know what you would say to the defender here. Hits him with his shoulder in the strike zone. I mean, maybe it's a little high. I think it's more just a head reaction because he's in such a vulnerable position. But man, that could have been a big play. Let it snow. 3rd and 3. Slant down here to the bottom. This is just A.J. Brown being too big, too strong, too explosive. 3rd and 3. Come out there. I love throwing slants in weather. I think they're easier throws for quarterbacks. In breakers. Ball comes out quickly. You can see exactly what the angle is on the wide receiver. Buddy ball. Great job on 3rd down, getting a 1st down, trusting him to win, finding the one-on-one. Again, there's just a lot to like here. How calm Hurts looks here. Catch, 1, ball out. And again, versus press, you want to let him win a little bit. I think some guys can kind of hurry this at quarterback. You got to let him win and then put it on him. So Jalen kind of has that like extra giddy up, like, let him win, put it on him, 1st down. To be able to throw it on 3rd and 3, it's a nice luxury for the Eagles because you know they can run it and go for the tush push. Come out here, throw it, little change up. Again, just right on the body, on the break, 1st down, let's go. Next one here, 2nd and 8. Another miss / not hook up on 2nd down that leads to a 3rd down sack. So for me here, the first thing I want to say, okay, not like I'm throwing rocks from a glass house here. It is not easy to throw the ball in bad weather. It's just not. It just isn't. That's not an excuse. That's just the fucking reality. If you've never gone out there and tried to do it, try it next time. Not easy to do. Okay, so I acknowledge that. The other part that I want to say is if that's the case and we can't throw it better than this, like we can't get closer to an open guy than yards over his head, then we can't call this play. And that's the other part, is the play caller. The other part about it as a quarterback here is sometimes you'll drop back and you'll just be like, oh man, it's wet in my hand, or I don't feel good with this ball. I got a wet thumb, something. Then throw the damn check down. Get it underneath. We don't have to try to drive the ball down the field outside the numbers. So it's a combination of all those things. Then you overlay that with what I would say is not traditionally Jalen's footwork. This is super clicky to me at the base. So love the base right there. Stay right there. Tight hitch, tight reset, not a lot of movement. That's a heel click. So we're clicking. We got a lot of movement. And guess where the ball goes? Meow. It's like a Michael Vick front row shot there. And that thing's coming out, hitting the side of the barn. Meow. And it's made worse because when you come back and look at like the drive on the backside down here to the bottom, it's wide ass open for a much easier throw. I'm not saying it's a bad read. It's not a bad read. 1-on-1 with 11, I like it. He's open. We just miss him. Our feet aren't there. The weather's not there. It's a tough throw. It's 2nd and medium, 2nd and longish. We don't hook it up again, and that leads to a 3rd down where we have more issues. So now it's 3rd and 8, and we got issues. It looks like we're staring at A.J. Brown up top. A speed out versus press coverage. Not my favorite. We end up getting the right guard picked here. Oftentimes with these ricochet stunts, the guy who does the picking gets like that speed boost to the quarterback. So watch the right guard. Bam! Okay, and now we're in deep stuff. So a few things here. First of all, a speed out versus press to me is not my favorite. It just isn't. Now, I understand you don't always want to come back here and throw fade goes. Okay, 3rd and 8. To me, this is a premium look for just about anything you want down the field. Maybe they love it. I would say this play is even worse now that it's in snow, to be able to think you're going to get that kind of cut versus press. But let's pretend that we know exactly what the read is. Okay, and this is 1. If that's 1 and we like this matchup, okay, we can roll with that. Then 2 to me has to be the check down. It has to be 1 to 2. It can't be 1 to 2 to something else. So if that's the case and we don't like this, I don't like that, then get the ball right here. Boom. That's on Jalen. Boom. Get it to him. Get it out of your hand. Now, again, some version of spot down here to the bottom, not my favorite. But to me here, acknowledging the fact that I don't like the ask to be able to run a speed out versus press like that, especially right at the sticks. If you're going to play that up top, Jalen, get it to the check down. Boom. He's right in your lap. There is nothing to come back to down here. Right? This spot doesn't give you like a delay. Maybe I'll say this. If we're going to run speed out here and we're going to run traditional, I'll call it spot down here to the bottom. Who knows what they call it? Okay, some version of that's a flat. If this is more of like a jerk, meaning he can set it, and then if he doesn't get it, he can work back across, then maybe that could be 1 to 2. But he doesn't do that. He's like a statue here. So to me here, the ball has to get to the check down. And again, we don't have to be in the room to know the timing of this thing to say, hey, if you're going to sit on that out, there's nothing to come back to down here. So if they're asking him to come back across the field here and then go back to the check down, it just doesn't make sense to me. To me here, the speed out is there. It's not there. The check down's right in the lane. Throw it. Instead, we take a sack. Now we're out of field goal range. Now we're punting. So it goes from the miss on second down to then the misread here, acknowledging the fact that I don't love the ask of what they're asking him to do. And then you got the right guard on his ass. And now we're punting. And it's a bummer. Next one here, 3rd and 14. We're going to get the ball to Saquon. He's going to do Saquon things. I'm used to calling this a little balloon check down or outlet. The crazy thing here is you don't even really have to block someone. You've got this single blocker out in front of you, usually the tight end type. He actually doesn't block anyone, but his presence makes the first guy have to basically miss, and then Saquon can go just do Saquon things and go get a first down. So it looks like they're running some version of scissors again. So what called post, some version of a corner, and then I think they run like a speed out down here to the bottom. Okay, it's 3rd and 14. There's no good options. Maybe you like this versus free access. I'm getting the ball right here as fast as I can. And then that little balloon to me is this lead blocker, this one black guy. But again, watch the tight end here. He gets out here. He actually doesn't touch anyone. His presence makes you overset. And then Saquon's able to take this thing, work inside and go get 14 yards plus. So it's, again, you see this check down outlet, one person screen all over the place. I call it balloon because I saw Miami call it that once. But I mean, look at that. And really the tight end takes 2 because the guy who's covering the scissors or the corner kind of sets to set the edge too. And we go inside and go get the first. So it's just really well done from Saquon Barkley. But I also love the fact that Jalen just get it out of your hands. It's super fast. It looks like he's looking to the left. A.J. Brown, no, check down. Just like that. Good things happen when you give it to the best player in space. First down, hell yeah. Next one here, 2nd and 2. We've got 76 seconds left to go into the second quarter. We give A.J. Brown a chance. Ball bounces off his chest. So again, we could be frustrated with some of the passing game in Philadelphia, but when you turn on the film, there are opportunities. I mean, this ball hits us in the chest. It's got a great opportunity to be a touchdown there, probably ball on the 1. I mean, you can't catch it for him, y'all. Now, is that a great throw? Okay, no. Do I think he's trying to throw a back shoulder? No. Is it good enough? Does he give him a chance? Yeah. I mean, that's all you can ask. It looks like a damn blizzard. Okay, now I know I'm SoCal soft, but that not ideal throwing. We're throwing a go ball 35 yards. Hits him in the damn chest and we can't catch it? And it's not the first play of this half where that's happened. Again, 2nd down, really a bummer for us executing at a high level all game. That stinks. Right on cue, 2nd and 8, 30 seconds left to go. Right guard or tailback, no idea what you're doing. Cannot play football like that. If I had to guess, I'd put this on the right guard. Again, you can see the left guard here communicating, hey, we're going to the right, whatever the hell that is. Hit your head, turn to right. Looks like the center. Working to the right, looks like the right guard. Thinks about it. I'm not familiar with this. I'm not familiar with the pass set where you could block somebody who's running right at your face, but you don't. So again, I don't know for sure if it's the right guard or the back. You would think that if the right guard was down here on the tackle, 91, that the back would come over here and block this. It looks like they're both confused. I would bet a lot of money it's 77. But you can't play quarterback like this. Now, you can do your best to hold on to the ball better than that, but you're not fumbling because something you did. You can't overcome, B gap, run through, free runner right at your face, right where you're trying to throw the choice to Smith up top. Now, obviously, you'd love to hold on to the ball, but man, we just can't get right with some of this execution, and you're not going to give yourself a chance playing pass pro like this. Like, this is just unacceptable. 77 had some nice run game blocking, but that is a rough rep, and it's almost a disaster. All right, into the second half here. We're going to hit Goddard up top. He's the number 2, 3rd and 5, little double post crosser with a shallow. Just a great job by the tight end, getting separation at the top of this thing. Get the hell off me to 37. Big play. You can barely see him at the top right of the screen. He's going to stair step him right at the top, like, get off me right there. They end up tripping feet. 37 hits the deck. Jalen does a nice job in the pocket. Don't miss a layup. Turns into a big chunk play. So you'd see this play all over the league. Maybe not necessarily this exact version of it, but to me here, double post with some version of a crosser. And there it is. And this is usually where the ball's trying to go. They've done it a few times this game with the shallow with it too, so kind of a high-low in that opportunity to run across the field. I like it. Lots of good opportunities there for multiple runaways on 3rd down. Catch closed. Great call. A lot of space, and it turns into a big play. So again, love the aggressiveness coming out, throwing this thing. 3rd and 5, outstanding pass protection. Nice pocket presence. You see Jalen step up, reset. He's kind of getting hit. Doesn't have to be a perfect throw. You got a mountain in front of you. Get out there. Do not airball a layup. Big play. Next one here. This felt pretty predetermined. We're trying to throw it to A.J. Brown, the number 2 down here on the bottom on the little bluff wheel. This is a pretty common play across football nowadays. It bounces off the DB's face here. Certainly feels predetermined to me. I'll also talk just a little technique on this thing that I feel like inevitably shows up all the time on film. This play is post, what I'm used to calling a bluff wheel. So you come out like you're going to block for the bubble or for whatever the perimeter screen is here. And then you hit this thing on the wheel. And so really what you're trying to do is have this corner run with the post and occupy that middle field player. Now, you could make the argument here that if he would have stayed with the post, maybe he gets it. But you're certainly calling it thinking this is where it's going to go. But you want this flat defender, nickel safety, to bite down on this thing and then create that space. Well, he kind of sniffs it out the whole way. And so, it doesn't look like it's ever going to be there. And certainly it bounces off his face, so you get a little lucky. You can do 2 things here. You can use this as the check down and the outlet, or what they also do here is bring the shallow across. So you can run away versus man, settle up versus zone. To me, the ball probably goes here if you had to read this thing over again. Again, super easy for me in a dry, really nice library studio with a marker to tell you where the ball goes. But this feels forced. It doesn't feel like it's ever there, and really 2 defenders could probably put their hand on the ball. So, could you get it to the tight end over the ball? Maybe. Probably be something there. They got it. You just don't want to put the ball in harm's way there. An interception turnover is brutal. Now, the part I want to talk about just technique-wise here is a common error you'll see with quarterbacks here is as you pump or shrug this perimeter screen, so we're faking the bubble this way, what you don't want to do is pump and bring yourself this way. You've almost got to hard reset yourself to almost step this way to pump to get back to the middle of the pocket, because the tendency here is to pump and then to drift. And then when we pump and drift, well, now we're into this pass set and we're not in the center of the pocket to give us a chance to make the best throw. So this little thing, you see leakage like this all the time on this play. Again, I think it's worse to the left, but as you pump, you got to recenter to the pocket. So again, to me, this is not necessarily a left tackle issue. This is hey, we're drifting. We're not where we're supposed to be. Now we're getting hit and we're making a muddy decision. And we're kind of fortunate that this isn't an interception. I mean, it hits him in the face. Against, it hit both DBs in the face, actually. 1, 2. You know what I'm going to say? Okay. You can say it with me. If they could catch, they'd be playing offense. Okay. Dang. So this next one is real tough. All right. It's 2nd and 15. This is the same play flipped over that we saw earlier to start the second half. 3rd and 5, double post, cross with the shallow. This is the one where it sure looks like Jalen gets hurt, like rolled up weird. Okay, now, it's obviously a bummer when someone gets hurt. You never want to see it. But I think it's worse when you look at the structure of the play and it looks like there's something there. And we just rep the damn play. Like we just hit it. So again, inside post, outside post. We just hit Goddard on this big crosser. Remember, he came up, gave him something. They tangled feet and he came wide open across here. And I said, oh, it's paired with the shallow. I like that. Okay. This is there again. This is there again. Again, it's unfortunate that he gets hurt, but why this ball isn't getting thrown, I can't answer. I can't give you a good answer. Does it happen quickly? Probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hitch. Again, step up, throw. Now, maybe you could say, all right, the center's taking an L here, left guard, center, not giving us the greatest pass protection. But I really think Jalen could hang in there, step up, and throw. Instead, he steps up. Now he's gone, and now we're getting rolled up because we're taking unnecessary hits. And again, it's probably not as clean as I'm making it sound. 2, 3, 4, 5, hitch. So could he throw it at the back of his drop right there to Goddard, to the 81? It's not Goddard, but 81 right there. Probably not. That's probably illegal contact down the field too on 81 right there. Could he get it down to Smith on the drive? Maybe. So I'll probably walk back how confident I was like, hey, you could get it out for sure. I still think he could. I don't think it's as good of a play without Goddard in there. Now we're up. Now we're getting grabbed. Now we're getting rolled up. So it's just a bummer. More than anything else, I think anytime you get hurt, it sucks. When you get hurt and it looks like there are plays in structure from within the pocket that you could have thrown it to and we just repped it, it hurts even more for me. 2nd down, another issue. This time safety up top. This one for me is kind of hard to put much on Jalen just because I really feel like you don't have a chance here because everything is so far down the field developing, if you're going to call this slow developing deep routes, that you're going to really need to be able to take a hitch and throw it. And I mean, he really can't even take one hitch and throw it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sort of. 92 is just barreling down on us. I mean, you could say, hey, we could throw it to Goddard here on the right. 88 right there. But I mean, that'd be getting it straight to the check down. I'm not sure how realistic that is to say his eyes should be there. I don't think they should be there. I think the pass pros let us down. Again, it sure looks like the center and left guard could play this thing much better than they do. These deep shots down the field, it's not like there's something open right now where you're like, damn, Hurts, throw it. He's not going to get to the check down on his first hitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hitch. I just don't think it's realistic there. We take an L inside, and now we're in a safety. So we just can't. I mean, it's crazy that it keeps happening on 2nd down here on these plays, but we can't get out of our own way sometimes. So yeah, could we call a quicker hitter? Sure. Could Jalen get it right down to the check down as soon as he feels like, a solar eclipse in front of him with 92 running right at his ass? Maybe. Maybe. I don't necessarily think that's his game. So it's not there. Damn. Next one here, 4th and 5. Buddy ball down here to the bottom. Love it. Just a slant. A.J. Brown. Weather. Snow globe. Really nice job by the tight end. Goddard being able to kind of hang on. Long hair on the right. Just make him be there with that dart, and it goes right off his ear. So love the aggressiveness. That's a big time play this time of the game. Again, to me, double post here. This route is really important. So some people will run this like a one-step, like you're trying to win, like flat. Other teams will teach almost like a one-step. If you don't get it, it becomes like an occupy clear. I like this kind of like vertical element because I want to hold this player. So if you run it to win it sometimes and you just go in here and close that door, this guy will feel like, oh, I can widen and get into this throw. So I really like the technique here to be able to kind of stay vertical through here and occupy him to maintain the window and the integrity of that lane for us to throw the slant. This is a big time throw. 4th and 5, buddy ball, hook it up on him. Love it. From the back here, you'll be able to see this kind of 1-2, ball out. Great rhythm. Okay. Again, I think Jalen at his best plays with great rhythm, great base when he's his most accurate self, super decisive. But again, I really like that route, man. Look how right off the edge of that defender, and then we rip it right to his left. Outstanding. Next one here, last one, another 2nd down, kind of mini disaster. Okay, Jalen Hurts at this point looks like he's not feeling great. So we're going to put him on the edge to the left, which is already probably an issue. I've been given 88 a lot of praise in this video. This is not the rep for him. I'm assuming the tight end to hold that edge a little firmer for us. Looks like he's out there in a pillow fight right there. Got no thunder, brother-in-law on him, and now our quarterback's in deep shit. Now, would you love for Jalen to be able to throw that away because he's outside the pocket? 100%. Okay, so the first thing I think you have to acknowledge is, hey, we're not 100%. Why are we calling this? That's fair. And the next part is, this is too soft of a block, too soft of a bang seal flat. Okay, we have to have more here. And then when we're out here, if we don't like it or don't have time, we have to throw it away. We can't be sliding like this. Now you might say, oh, we're going to slide because we want the clock to run here. Maybe, if that's the case, we probably shouldn't call it. And we go back and see how much time is left. 2:43. So 2:43. Yeah, I guess if you don't want the clock to stop, just eat it like this. So I probably take back my, for sure, 100% must throw it away. If you're not going to throw it away, I like this call even less because now Jalen's just not moving like himself. It's just, you don't have a chance. If we were to really seal the edge, you probably have the over to Smith coming across here, but he's just not moving like he normally does. So at least the clock keeps running if we're going to eat that sack. But man, this is one of those ones that again just puzzles you a little bit. Man, we could find something better than our quarterback sliding, for a huge TFL. Damn. So that is a wrap. Jalen Hurts, Eagles, big win, whatever it takes in the weather. Really impressive running the ball, obviously. I thought when you peel back the film, you see some more opportunities than maybe you thought watching the broadcast, or at least I thought watching the parts of the broadcast that I saw, that there were opportunities in the passing game. Now, for whatever reason, whether it was dropped, whether it was missed, whether it was missed assignment, whether it was a pass pro issue, whether it was Jalen not throwing it when there was something probably there on time in structure, it wasn't clean. And then I think it got worse as the game went on with when Jalen looked like he wasn't moving like his normal self. And so you put all those things together, and now all of a sudden it doesn't feel great from a quarterback kind of outcome, kind of performance idea. But still, you've got to acknowledge the fact that quarterback run game, his ability to move it, there were plays there to be made. They just didn't make every single play. They made enough to win. And again, you can ride Barkley being able to do what he's doing with the explosive runs. It's pretty magnificent on many different levels. But from a quarterback perspective, I felt like when Jalen's on time, in rhythm, with his base that he can play with, I think it's more than good enough. It's when things, for whatever reason, aren't like that, whether it's a pass pro issue, whether it's him not feeling great, whether it's him getting sped up, whether it's him not seeing something, whether it's the concepts not giving him great answers. Occasionally, he will look like he doesn't know where it's supposed to go. And when he's not decisive and he's not in rhythm, now things get real muddy real fast. And so trying to stay out of that water will be what I will look for as they navigate the next round. Regardless, fun game to watch. Hopefully you enjoy a little run snippet here at the end. Overall, though, man, the Eagles are a lot to handle offensively. They've just got a lot of weapons. They've got a lot of ways to beat you. Even when they're not at their best, they're still pretty damn good. So thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one. A little bonus run footage. It's a nice little new habit I've developed here. 3rd and 4 to the house. I mean, the ability to run it on 3rd down and then the capacity to take it to the house. So the thing I love about this is not only 77 and just the violence at the point of attack, but this is a premium call versus these kind of like what I classify as like bullshit, overload, exotic fronts that defenses want to run on 3rd down. So you want to get all schemy, get all trick fucky on 3rd down, and you want to overload your front. So to me here, an overload front means traditional defensive lineman type. And I don't know who the hell that is, but to me, these would be the 4 traditional defensive lineman type. And when you're overloading, meaning we're putting all these big bodies over here, that's trying to get you in the pass pro to make sure you're turning this way. So you want to make sure that we're protecting up to the guys who get paid to rush the passer. And then we've got all these little guys over here and you don't know who the hell's blitzing. So they're trying to confuse you. Well, just look at the front as far as like hand down, big body, big body. Okay, we're off the line of scrimmage. Okay, we're lighting the ass. Well, if we can run it right here, let's go. Like, just look at the natural kind of dent that is already there with the defense. Okay, so if we can just make that even bigger, we're going to put this guy in a world of hurt, and nobody wants this one-on-one tackling drill in open space with Saquon Barkley. And that's not fair to anybody. So it's a beautiful call. It is a world-class call. It's great effort. It's a hell of a block from the right guard as well. Thunder, cake, and we're to the house. So better keep your, crazy exotic fronts on the call sheet. That's just too easy. And that thing is made to order. I love the block from 77. Pass blocking? Yeah. Run blocking? Thunder. Get out of here. And then 2-6 is to the house. Woo! 3rd down offense. Let's go. Next one here, another backbreaker. This is just Saquon doing Saquon things. I mean, the Eagles don't even come close to blocking this probably how they want to. And this thing is to the house. Now, it's a great block on the perimeter by the wide receiver. This is wild, though. I don't think I've ever seen somebody hit themselves on the head twice as they walk into the end zone. A little split flow action here. I would tell you that the play side backer, so right here and right here, are not blocked correctly. So let's just pretend how this thing is supposed to sort itself out. We're getting this split flow action, so he's coming all the way across on that slice block. Then let's sort this thing out. Okay, so they would probably be pushing this thing for me. So you'd be way out here, one-on-one. And then what are you going to do here? You're going to go these two all the way to here. You're going to go these two for here. One of these guys, they've got more dudes than we've got. So one of these two is going to be unblocked. In reality, both are unblocked because 77 can't get up to either. So you basically got both these guys not fitting this thing correctly. I'm guessing this is not what they want for either. And now we've got the patience and just world-class running ability to let this thing settle. He finds the hole and it's to the house. So again, watch both these backers essentially have opportunities to fit it however they want. They choose tight. 0 or 8 on the left gets washed down. And it's to the house. Now, like maybe a medium hold there from the center. But yeah, just enough. I mean, what a great cut, man, from Barkley. Holy moly. Downhill, the dunk. That is world class. Wow. Wow.